Okay, so you've written a two-page business plan. What happened next?
What happened next? Okay, so we had the money, right, in a bank, $2,000, and I was like, we need a website, and let's go on forums and try to find one, you know. So what I did was I reached out, I think 5 or 6 different website agencies,
Mm-hmm.
and they were asking for $5,000 to $7,000. I was like, okay, no, we don't have that. So I was going on forums, which basically, okay, website designer, and was going to Swedish forums, and I found a guy, and he said, I'm gonna do it for $1,000. I'm gonna help you guys. So, but you need to design it. I'm like, I don't know how to design. So my business partner said, like, I can do it on PowerPoint because that's the only thing I did. I know. So she did it on PowerPoint. Like, you know, that works. He said, whatever program you want to do it on. So that's where the first $1,000 went to. My favorite soccer team is Juventus. It's a team in Italy.
Well, yeah.
He was like, "Well, do you have a logo?" I was like, "No, but these are my favorite colors." You know, so the logo was inspired of that, and then the other 1,000 we basically went to buy a MacBook. You know,
Yeah.
and so imagine we started this business, like, all right, website up. We didn't even have a bank account. This was like PayPal had just started, so we didn't even have a PayPal account, you know. So I was like, how are people gonna pay us? And I was like, you know what? I have like an immigrant name. It would be really shady if people wired us money to my account. Let's use your mother's bank account for new customers. So for the first few customers, it was pretty funny, Jeff. They're like, you know what? Who's this person I'm wiring money to? So we had to convince people that, you know what, that's one of the shareholders of the company. So for the first few thousand that came in, we actually used that money to incorporate the company, you know, and be legitimate.
I love it. You know what? This sounds like the creator's journey, which is actually the entrepreneur's journey, which is where you go, I'm going to start a business. I have an idea. And you're just testing it. And then you're going, but I'm so glad you bought a computer with the next $1,000.
Yeah,
That's really good.
of course, you know, you need to have a tool, you know. I know my parents, they were like, you know, you want to go to work, but you don't have a tool. You need to get the tool. And I said, yeah, you're right, mom and dad.